Hello YouTube, welcome back to the channel, and for today's video, we're going to take a look at the famous Charizard EX. Let's hop onto it. Alrighty, so here is the deck list, and yes, we are playing Charizard EX, the most overhyped popular card on the meta at the moment, and for some good reason. It has some strong points. Let's take a look at Charizard EX first. So Charizard EX has 330 HP, which is really bulky. It's VMAX level bulky, and it's a dark Terra type Pokemon, so it changes itself from fire to dark, which means you can hit psychic Pokemon for weakness like Gardevoir and Mew, which are very popular. It also has the ability Infernal Rain, so when you play this card onto your board, you accelerate 3 basic fire energies to your Pokemon in any way that you like. So it is really great in getting yourself set up with your attackers. And it also has a really cheap attack cost, Burning Darkness for 2 fire energies. You hit for 180, but for every prize card your opponent has taken, you add on 30 to that. So at the start of the game, it is pretty lackluster. You're only hitting for 180, so you're not even knocking out basic Vs, not knocking out any basic EXs. But as the game progresses, you are going to be able to reach that 300, maybe even 330 damage potential. Now, because in the early game you aren't hitting for a lot of damage, we played this with the Arceus V STAR. As you probably have seen, Arceus V STAR Charizard is a really great pairing because you can accelerate those 3 energies onto the Arceus, use Starbirth to grab yourself any rare candy pieces that you might need, any Charizard pieces you might need, and if it's your second turn, you can actually Starbirth for, say, like a Choice Belt, use that to hit for 230 damage, which means you can knock out basic V Pokemon, which can put you in a pretty dominating position early on. Now, you have probably seen the trifecta combo with Charizard, Arceus, and then also the Pidgeot EX. If we're running rare candies, if we're using Starbirth to get our board set up, we might as well also play Pidgeot in order to help us get those extra cards throughout the game, because then you can use Starbirth to kind of find those missing pieces, use Pidgeot to also search for an extra card that could also be a missing piece, and then just steamroll from there. So you can kind of see how this 3-card combo can be really devastating if you can get your board set up really early, and if you can start putting on pressure on your opponent at the start of the game. Now, most lists are debating between a heavy Pidgeot line and a heavy Bibarel line. I tried to slide in a 1-1 Bibarel engine. It's not going to come up in every matchup, but if you can get it set up, it's really great, because something that your opponent can do is Iono Path you, and then you can't Pidgeot your way out of it. I found that Bibarel is really great in that regards, so that you can still draw through your deck and not be bricked. And that's kind of one of the key weaknesses that I found with this deck, is if they do path you and you do brick in the mid to late games, you can kind of fall short in attackers. We also obviously play the Radiant Charizard as our Radiant of choice. It's kind of perfect in this deck. You can use the Charizard EX to power it up. You can go in with a single prize attacker, hit for a big amount of damage. We also play Choice Belt, so we can hit for 280 if we need to, and it just makes sense. For weird supporters, we are playing the Jacq. I've seen this on a lot of lists now. It's actually really helpful in getting your turn 1 setup going, because the Arceus V STAR can Starbirth for Jacq, Rare Candy, you can use Jacq to get Charizard, and Pidgeot, you can Rare Candy onto the Pidgeot can get you another Rare Candy, and then you can get Charizard, and then you can accelerate your board, and you can see how the deck just steamrolls once you get the right cards all together. Now, for my spicy tech, I tried so hard to incorporate some sort of spicy tech. The only thing that I could really think of at the moment is Cheren's Care. Cheren's Care is actually decent, because if you do lead with the Arceus as an attacker, it kind of dies off later down the line, just because it's only hitting for that max 200, maybe 230 potential. And so if it does get hit but doesn't get knocked out, you can actually retreat with the Cheren's Care, put those energies that you have on the Arceus back into your hand, and then maybe your opponent Ionos you, or maybe you Iono yourself, and those energies can then get reutilized for Charizards later down the line. I found that to be actually really helpful. You can also use Cheren's Care in the late game. If your opponent tries to knock out a Pidgeot EX, you can use the Cheren's Care to pick up that Pidgeot, so that there's not a 2-prize liability in play. And that is pretty much it for the deck list. Here is an image of the deck list if you want to try it out for yourselves. Now, like I said, in my opinion, I think this deck is really strong. I think it is going to be in the top meta, but I don't think it's going to be the BDIF. I think there are definitely some counters that you can have with this deck. The mirror is always very difficult to navigate, and because this deck is so popular, it's not going to be great on the ladder, just because everyone's trying to counter it. But it's still going to be a great deck for you to play if you want to try it out for yourselves. I tried my best to find a spicy version of this deck. I tried playing it with Torkoal, I tried playing it with the Victini and Delphox line. I just found that nothing really compares to this trifecta combo. I think if you want to play Charizard optimally, this is going to be the best version for you. So that is going to be it. Now, before we hop onto the matches, I did want to say that thank you guys for the love on the last video. It did get a lot of views and a lot of subscribers through that, so I really do appreciate that. Now, I am trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, so here is my proposition for you. If you have watched 3 of my videos so far, definitely consider subscribing. It's no harm to you, and it definitely does help out the channel a lot. Enough of my shameless plug. Let's hop onto the ladder and I'll show you some of the matches that I got with the Charizard EX. Pretty good start from us. Our opponent did mulligan, so we did draw into some pretty decent cards. I don't want to put the DTE on the Arceus, because if they... I could potentially boss KO a Chien Pao. But most likely they're gonna evolve into the Palkia, right? Go ahead and Nest Ball. You do have a barrel in hand, so that's good. Let's see. We didn't prize the Arceus, so that's good. We got Charizard prized. Pidgeot's in hand, right? How are we doing on rare candies? We got rare candy prized. Everything else seems good. We do need to look out for... I don't know, does Palkia Chien Pao play Path? I don't think so. Let's go ahead and do this, grab this, and do I worry about the Palkia taking a knockout on the Arceus? I could grab second Arceus in case that happens. Let's actually do that. So I am worried that there is a shot that they could knock out Palkia next turn. Well, or knock out the Arceus next turn with Palkia. So we'll go ahead and do this. And what I can do is actually Trinity Charge up the Arceus on the bench. So let's actually do that. That saves us from having to do Charizard onto the Arceus. Now with this play, they could boss up Arceus on the bench and try and knock that out. If that's the case, that's the case. Can't really do much about that. The next turn, I can go Bibarel, I can go Jacq. I wonder, does Jacq get me Arceus VSTAR? I don't think so, right? Because I don't think that counts as an evolution Pokemon. It's just a VSTAR Pokemon. You have to evolve it onto a basic. If this counts as a basic, that should count as an evolution. I don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out if I can grab Arceus VSTAR. If I could, that would be actually pretty busted. But I'm pretty sure you can't. They got Rare Candy into Baxcalibur. And then Ultra Ball for the Palkia. Ooh. 3 Rare Candies gone. So if I boss KO their Baxcalibur, that could be interesting. And I did realize I forgot to put Pidgey down. I put the second Charmander in play, thinking that I was going to grab Charmander and Pidgey, but then I changed my mind and grabbed Arceus. So I should have definitely put the Pidgey down instead of this Charmander. But no, it looks like they just go for rule of the region. So we actually have a shot at knocking out this Palkia. Can we get a broken hand? We got Raw, that's not that broken. Let's put Choice Belt here. A barrel. I don't want to use Jacq because I could grab a supporter off of this Bibarel. There we go, that's perfect. So we can go ahead and do this. Let's go Ultra Ball. Well, now I could grab Jacq. I don't think I need... Well, I could do this. I can go Pidgeot and that. Grab the VSTAR because I don't think I need the Jacq anymore. So I pretty much have knockout on the Palkia, and then let's just go ahead and rod back the Pidgeot. We can go research to see if we can grab some more cards. Nothing really there. I guess I can Nest Ball for the Pidgey, that's fine. But it looks like I am just gonna go retreat. into the Arceus V-Star. I could actually evolve into that just in case they don't have a boss knockout on this Arceus. I'll go Starburst to try and set up. What do I need? I guess I just need Charizard, Rare Candy. I can put that in play. Okay, we got 5 energies, 2 energies left in the deck. We can go definitely put 2 here. I could swing with multiple V-Stars. Let's actually do that because I have the Cheren's Care, so I can put that energy back into my hand. And then we'll take a knockout onto the Palkia, grab 2 cards. We'll put 2 energies actually onto the Arceus. I know this seems a little weird. We are trying to attack with Charizard's turn after turn, but because I have the Cheren's Care, even if they do punch into this Arceus V-Star, I can get the energies back into my hand, like I said, and then Iono them back into the deck, and then use Charizard's ability to get them onto a fresh Charizard. So that seems pretty good here, because then we can preserve them from taking a knockout on this Arceus V-Star. I can Cheren's Care, go into a fresh Arceus, take a knockout on something. Just promote the Bidoof, okay. Now ideally this is when I would try and Pidgeot into boss, for the Baxcalibur. It doesn't seem like that's going to be the case here. Did I ditch a boss? No. So I should have them in the deck. Well, now I don't want to Iono. Well, if they're not going to smack me, I'm definitely not going to Iono. Just go incisors here. Do they get an attacker in play? That is a question. Avery. I kind of want to keep the Pidgey. I'll ditch this, and I guess I'll ditch the Bibarel. It did its job. It really went in clutch in that first Industrious Incisors to get us that Ultra Ball. So I'm content with the Bibarel. I can let it go. Okay, they lead with the Chien Pao. We don't take a knockout with the Choice Belt. They do Rod, so we can actually promote this Arceus V-Star. Now, to be fair, let's see. They have 1 energy. They can grab 2. Their hand is like literally all energies. They could take a knockout with 5 energies on the Chien Pao, which wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. If they do take a knockout, then my Charizard can just return KO the Chien Pao. If that's the case, 3, 4. It was close. It was close. And now this is when we go in clutch with the Cheren's Care. Oh, I forgot that they could... I'm an idiot. I'm such an idiot. Okay, well, that's totally fine. I forgot that they could discard it from anywhere. For some reason, I thought they could only discard it from the Chien Pao. But this is totally fine. This also works. I'm going to go ahead and Artazon. I don't want them to have the Skater Spark. We'll go ahead and get ourselves a Charmander. What I'll do... kind of want to keep the energy in deck. I'll go Iono here. See if I can get Rare Candy into Pidgeot. I do. That's amazing. Go Rare Candy into the Pidgeot. We can go Quick Search here. I think we just want to grab... what do I have? I guess another Charmander could be good. In case they boss KO that one, I'll have another one to work with. And then I have Rare Candy... Yeah, I have Rare Candy Zard. I'm gonna go with this. We definitely want to bench the Manaphy in case they play any Greninjas. And we'll just go ahead and return knockout the Chien Pao here. Take 2 more prizes. Rare Candy Iono is great. That means all we need to do is grab Charizard with the Pidgeot, get into another Charizard, then just Iono them in case they do take a knockout here. And then after that, I just return KO. Okay, there's a Chien Pao. So they'll need a lot here. They'll actually, if they had Skater's Park, then they could, you know, attach the Bibarel, then retreat it, but they do need a switch. Then they do need probably Superior Energy Retrieval in order to power up the Chien Pao with 6 energies, if I'm doing my math right. Yep, 6 energies to one-hit KO a Charizard EX. If they one-hit KO my Charizard EX, then my Charizard can just one-hit KO them. Now, I do need to be careful about my energy count, though. Now that I think about it, do I even have 2 energies in the deck? Because my master plan of trying to Cheren's Care an Arceus went totally wrong. Backfired in my face. So those energies did end up in the discard. So I probably... Oh, and I got rid of my Rod too. So maybe I don't even have an attack with the Chien Pao. Or sorry, with the Charizard EX. I might have to swing with the Arceus and then maybe I'm down a DTE as well. Do I even have an attack? No, they just concede. Okay, so maybe I had an attack, maybe I didn't. I don't know. That's the one thing about this deck that I feel like is a little iffy. It's about the energy recovery. You could play more rods. I think I might actually add in another rod into the deck. I'll just have to figure out what I could discard. But let's hop on to another match. Looks like we're playing Lost Box. Let's see if we can get set up. We got Rare Candy into Zard, so that's fine. I can put this here. Pass. I should have actually attached Retreated. Because then they could definitely get Cram here, but they don't have any Comfies in play, so I'm not too worried about a Cram hit in the first turn, but they definitely could still get it. It all just depends on how my opponent gets going here. I got Nest Ball for Comfy. This could be either Lost Zone or probably Lost Tina. I feel like Lost Tina is getting really popular now. There's a Colress. So if that gets them Cram, that can get them a knockout. Got rid of the Tina and the Sableye. Okay, Jet Energy to the active. So they could definitely get to 4 here. Then they just retreat, go into the other Comfy. They get to 4. Do they have a way to get Cram? That's the question, which they most likely do. I definitely should have attached to the active and then retreated, but they could also play Rope here. So either line of play is kind of dicey. Because if they play Rope, then they just knock out the Charmander anyway, so they could just be not playing Rope here to try and knock out this Charmander as well. As long as they bench Cram, they'll take a knockout, but we aren't out of the game yet. If we prize DTE, then we might be out of the game. Just because we'll be down. And there's Battle VIP Pass, so they are going to get Cram and Tina. And then they just need Switch card. Doesn't look like they have it. Okay, they passed, so we survived. Thank gosh. Alright. We got this. We got this. Got Rare Candy into the Zard. 1, 2. I'm actually going to put 2. I don't want to power up the Arceus here, because Giratina can knock out Arceus, so I don't necessarily want to use that as an attacker. I'm gonna go Nest Ball, grab second Charmander. Let's even go Artazon here to grab third one, I presume, because they could boss KO it. I want to make sure I have plenty of attackers in this game. I'm going to save the VSTAR ability. If they do boss KO it, that's fine. We can just Iono them. And then we'll just go Burning Darkness here, knock out the Comfey. So now they're rocking with one Comfey. They could cram hit me, then come in with a Tina play, or they could get to 10 in the Lost Zone and try and Lost Requiem. I don't see that being a line of play. I did forget about Greninja. They could play Greninja here and then knock out these two or these two. So maybe there was merit to using VSTAR to grab Manaphy, but I don't think that's what they're gonna go for here. With the one Comfey, they would need Colress. Right now they're at 5, so they have Colress. I could go Gate. We'll see. They did Lost Zone 1 VSTAR and 1 V. I don't know how many Giratinas they play nowadays. I'm assuming like a 2-2 line is probably best, so they probably are going to be rocking with just one. They get rid of Paths of the Peak, which is interesting. Paths of the Peak would have been really good against me here. But it looks like they don't do that. They're going to go Rope. I don't want to lose the Charmander. I think I can go with the VSTAR. Do I want to give up the VSTAR though? If they have Giratina, then like losing the VSTAR kind of sucks. But then I kind of Iono them down to 4, so that seems fine. Even if they do take the knockout, then I'll have the Iono, which could be a decent play. I just don't want to lose my attackers here. I know they're just roping to get the other Comfey in play, but if they do get the VSTAR and then come up and attack, that would be kind of bad. So I don't like that, but if they just hit me with Cram, then that's totally fine. What we can actually do here is just retreat, get the Pidgeot down with my Starbirth, and if that can get me... Ooh, excuse me. That can get me some better lines of play. Also, to be fair, if they don't smack me here with the V, or the VSTAR, I could try and knock out the Giratina V with Choice Belt. But I would need another energy on the V. I would need 2 energies on the VSTAR. I would need Choice Belt, and I have Boss in hand. That could be doable. Okay, they evolve into the VSTAR, so it doesn't really matter anyway. But then why switch into the Cram, though? Okay, so it's just a Spit innocently here. Okay, Ultra Ball's great. Use Ultra Ball to do that. Grab the Pidgeot. So then now I just have the Rare Candy for Pidgeot. I could attach Switch. Let's see what we can grab with Artazon. I don't even have Manaphy, so it wasn't even an option. But Bibarel is gone, and I don't have another Pidgeot, so I'm actually going to save that bench spot for the Radiant Zard. We'll go ahead, just shuffle the deck that way. I'm going to go Starbirth here. How many energies do I have in the deck? I have 3, okay. So what I could do I have the Cheren's care, right? So I definitely need Rare Candy. And I guess I can grab Zard here. Yeah, because I don't want them to Sableye my Charmander. So I want to go ahead and grab... Do I grab Jacq? I think I grab Jacq here. Go Rare Candy into the Pidgeot. Let's go Jacq here to grab Charmeleon and then Charizard. That way it's a little bit harder for them to get some knockouts. We can go Pidgeot here to grab ourselves another Rare Candy. And that's our last Rare Candy. So I'm glad I have the Charmeleon down because then I can evolve it that way. We'll go Rare Candy into this Charizard. 1, 2... I'm gonna keep one just because Radiant Charizard could be good. We'll go ahead and do that. I'll evolve that. Save the energy. Well, actually, I need it to attach the active to retreat. So next turn, I would like to Rod. I'll just go ahead, smack the Cram. Okay, we got an energy, so that's pretty good. Alright, so they lead with the Tina. They could just Lost Requiem here. I think at this point I just have to rely on my Ionos, making sure that they hit. I would like to get Rod to put some energies back. To get rid of the gate. What are they down? They're down 2 gates. Nah. 3 Colress though. Okay, so maybe my Iono can stick them next turn. They could play Roxanne though. But once I take care of this Tina, there really isn't anything else on their board that I'm worried about. They have 3 Comfies. So what I might do next turn... I go Star Requiem, okay. They did Chorus, right? Yeah, so that they got it that way. This is fine because now my Iono is going to hurt a little bit more, which is going to be good. We still have 2 attackers to go through. Got the Radiant Zard, so that's pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and attach... I'm going to hold on to the energy, actually. Let's do Iono first, because then it goes back into the deck. And then I can put it back in play with Charizard's ability. Let's go Ultra Ball here. Get rid of these. To grab the Charizard. That way Sableye doesn't really do much here. I could do Rod, but I am worried about them boss KOing this and then boss KOing that. So what I'm actually going to do is play my spicy tech of this turn. Let's go ahead and do it. No, I played Iono, so I can't do the spicy tech. We'll do it next turn. Maybe they don't boss. Maybe Iono actually did something and didn't boss them. I'm gonna play the Rod. We could get Bibarel back. We don't have a way to do that, so I want to grab some energies. That seems fine. Put the Bidoof down. Oh wait, no, that might have been a misplay. Because then Sableye can knock at the Bidoof. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Okay, that's fine. Ooh, that's actually... I don't know if I like that. Okay. What I should have done It's okay, because next turn... Yep, there's a boss. Boss on the Pidgeot, though. This is bad. Okay, so... They boss KO Pidgeot. Then they're down 2 prizes, and then they just try and smack into the Arceus VSTAR. I have a bricked hand at the moment. I do get 2 cards off the prizes, but are they going to be anything useful? We just hope that Sableye... I definitely shouldn't put the Bidoof down. That's a misplay. Okay. GTE doesn't really do anything for me here. I think we just go ahead. I could attach retreat, smack with this Zard. I mean, they don't have a way to knock out this Charizard, so it doesn't really matter. It's really just about if they can string together knockout on the bench. There's that other rare candy. Can they string together? Sableye. Getting Cheren's care would be so good here. Do they have... No, they don't. They don't have any great gates. They have one here. Oh, they do have some gates. Okay, so they could gate... Do Greninja knock out... Well, they can't knock out the Bidoof because of the Carefree Countenance. They can't smack any of these, so they'd have to smack. And then, yeah, we'll go from there. Psychic. No other energy, so if they were planning to play Greninja, they would have done it then. Iono on their own play. Okay, that's pretty risky. But we got Iono. But we only have 2 cards to draw with Iono. Yeah, this huge misplay. Definitely shouldn't have put that in play. Because now they just hit this, they ping this, and then the yeah. To be fair, they could have just gone with this twice and knocked it out. But no, it looks like they're just going for these 2. So unless the Iono bricked them, boss doesn't really help me here. Yeah, go Iono. Fire energy. I mean, it doesn't really matter what I do here. It's just whether or not they have it with their 1-card hand. With their 1-card hand, do they have a way to Clara back Sableye and knock out the Radiant Zard? Jet energy. Okay, so they can keep playing. Can they draw into anything good? Retreat into other comfy. See 2 more cards. So they would need energy, Sableye, switch. And they got the Colress too. Of course they got the Colress. What are they down? They're down... I think they're down 3 gates. So it's not going to be as easy. 1 Sableye is lost. And 1's in the discard. So they would need Clara, but they already used Colress, so they can't Clara. So Super Rod was definitely detrimental. If they Super Rod... and then use Artazon, they could have gotten that back. They have Nest Ball. Okay, for Manaphy. So they don't have... Ooh. That was a weird sequence. They should have Super Rotted, put the Sableye back, then Nest Ball the Sableye. Well, I guess they can Artazon for Sableye anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, and they concede. All right, that was really, really close. That definitely could have gone either way depending on how that Iono went. But yeah, the deck is pretty powerful. It's not crazy, but it's still a really good deck in this meta. It can hit some pretty decent numbers in the end game. At the early game, it falls a little bit short, so that's the only thing that I feel is a little bit weak about Charizard, which is why the Arceus Pidgeot engine is just really good with it. So if you liked the video, then hit that like button, subscribe if you're new. That's going to be it for me. Thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you guys later.